Good day, everyone, and welcome to the Deep End.
Today, we're going to talk about one of the most mysterious. No, not really. How do we call this? Unfamiliar parts
Yeah.
of the internet, which is called the deep web. So the deep web, according to what me, Czar, and AJ here have researched on, the deep web is mostly made up of a lot of sites that aren't really fit for the consumption of the general masses. These websites contain gore, drugs, transactions that aren't really
Mostly criminal.
yeah, mostly
Criminal.
criminal.
Oh, I heard you could get contracts out.
Yeah.
You can actually hire hitmen.
Yeah,
Not
you can
only
hire-
hitmen, you can hire a lot, even terrorists, and you can get the most famous part of the deep web is, of course, the sites that offer child porn.
Child pornography.
The things that are out of this fucking world you can find on the deep web. So, again, what is the deep web? The deep web isn't something very mystical. It isn't something very, what do you call this? Paranormal.
Yeah.
Yeah, contrary to popular belief, it's not something satanic. But, well,
you can find satanic stuff
Satanic
in
stuff
there, I
there.
guess.
But the deep web is just a part of the internet. Some parts, the internet is so big, it's practically infinite, and the deep web is the part of the internet that doesn't really have bright sunshine of people, of Google, the big names treading there. And the deep web is where all these shady shit happening uh, in a daily basis.
Yeah,
So-
basically, everything in the deep web isn't indexed by the normal search engines.
Yeah.
And it's not something promoted by
Yeah.
the big names like Google, Microsoft. It's
Yeah,
but all of them know that the deep web exists, and there are also some good things, I guess, in the deep web that you can find, like I
Art
don't
there.
know, huh?
Are there?
Yeah, there's some art there that are too weird for the eyes of normal people. If you're into weird art, you can find it there. There are a lot of other transactions in the deep web. Some
I
are
guess
dubious.
also medicine that you can't normally
Yeah,
get.
medicine you can't normally get.
Sometimes these drugs are prohibited in your country,
Mhm.
even if you need them. I guess
Even if you legitimately need them,
yeah.
they
But-
aren't really ready. You can just go to the deep web.
Mm.
So there are that, but no. So seriously, the deep web is like that's 1%. The good thing is just 1%. 99% is some whole fuckery.
But I've read a lot of no, not read, but I've listened to a lot of creepypasta videos concerning the deep web and how it ruins the lives of
Yeah.
people. You know how it's portrayed in these stories. The deep web is like a resource of things that are evil. Like video streaming, where we're in live murder or live
torture.
videos.
live torture is shown,
Snuff porn.
live streaming,
Yeah.
stuff like that, and being involved with the deep web is shown as a bad thing because the deep web is rife with viruses, hackers, stuff like that. And in most of these creepypasta stories, the protagonist is usually
Someone who's just
trapped.
curious.
Yeah, someone who is just curious, but he went to the wrong side of the deep web, and people are now watching him, watching his every move, and interfering with his daily life. You know, why are there stories like this? Why is it this notorious? Is it has similar things or similar circumstances happened before, wherein people get murdered just because they did something on the deep web, or they stumbled onto something in the deep web?
Well, in the surface, it might look like, modern paranoia,
Yeah.
like that. But it sometimes stories are inspired by
Real events, yeah.
and then it gets passed on.
Also, there are a lot of things in the deep web that you might accidentally run into. Remember, the deep web doesn't have the filters, the layers that the ordinary light-hearted internet, even if we can call it, even if the internet is a very dark place already.
Yeah.
And the deep web also has layers,
Mm-hmm.
but you can just barge in right through them. It depends on how you search, what tools you use. What else? The level of access you can search in the deep web is funky. It varies according to what you need and what you search for. And sometimes these things, these sites you arrive in, once you go searching, sometimes these are the ones that has backdoor Trojans,
Mm-hmm.
things that will let other people see you, keyloggers, the usual. But for example, you search in the deep web, you're just really curious about drugs, illegal drugs.
Okay.
Then you went into the site who's selling illegal drugs. Of course, they need to track you. Why? Because you might be an agent or
A cop or something.
something, the popo, and they need to watch out your every move if you're gonna squeal, if you're gonna do something that might endanger
Their business.
Yeah, and this is not a paranormal thing. This is
This
real
is real,
fucking
man.
life. Yeah, this is a criminal activity.
And by the way, don't expect us to teach you how to go there.
Yeah, we'll
Okay,
just
we're
provide
just
you
going
some tools and whatever.
Yeah. We'll just mention what people usually use. But of course, it's for you to find out how to use these tools. But we don't recommend you going
You
there
go
just
there
because
at your own risk.
yeah, you'll be putting yourself at risk.
Not only yourself, but remember, especially if your internet connection is used by your whole family, you might not like your little sister viewing child molestation stuff. It's not a good thing.
Or child murder.
Yeah, it's
What
not a
else is in
good
there?
thing to let your
Cannibalism.
people,
Yeah.
the people inside your...
Live cannibalism.
I
That's fucking
I
weird.
hear there are forums or what do you call that? What are boards called exactly? Forums,
communities.
community boards, stuff like that, wherein people get together to talk about
What they saw.
people who enjoy child pornography,
Just fucked up.
or people who identify as cannibals.
Yeah.
There are, I believe, based on the videos that I've seen, because I'm too scared to do this shit, because I really don't know what I'm doing when I'm using the internet. So, half of the time I don't really know what I'm doing, and I wouldn't want to put myself at risk. And I've seen a lot of videos about the deep web, wherein these YouTubers would venture out on the deep web just to show you what you could find, and most of the time it's kind of boring.
Yeah.
Actually, in the deep web, you can't. If you don't know what you're searching for, you just find tons and tons of dead sites.
Yeah. And
Seriously,
these websites don't have the designs and the
No.
web aesthetics that
that you're
the
used
surface
to.
web
Yeah,
uses.
it's just mainly basic HTML,
HTML.
Yeah, it's so basic HTML, like the words, whatever, the links, pictures. It's like looking at a 1995 website.
Yeah.
That's basically just what you will see in the deep web.
Mhm.
Like old school Angel Fire
Oh
blogs.
man,
Fire.
yeah,
Yeah,
Angel
that's
Fire.
the norm in the deep web. So don't go expecting anything fun,
Or anything
exciting.
anything
exciting,
dark.
It's
Or
just
easy.
it's so fucking boring. It's the darkness inside the deep web isn't how it looks like, but how it acts upon the things it's presenting to us.
And what it's, you know,
The
it
content
has.
itself, yeah.
it what it does for people.
It's fucking weird. Also, there's one of the most popular things that had been in the deep web for the past 2-3 years is this game called Sad Satan.
Mm-hmm.
So it's Sad Satan is basically this first person, but you can also play it in third person. It's a game found according to one YouTuber called Obscure Horror Games. According to one YouTuber, it's a game he found or was sent to him by a user of the deep web. Said the email said that he found it on the deep web and would like to share it to Obscure Horror Games.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of other YouTubers have played it, such as big names PewDiePie, there's Jacksepticeye, and a lot of people played it. And what's weird is that the game itself doesn't have anything on it. It's just black and white with a lot of polygons in it.
Yeah, dark corridors.
Dark corridors. It's like playing the old version of Alone in the Dark, but way stupider and way basic. Doesn't have any colors.
Just black and white.
It's just black and white. And sometimes, as you progress, if you even call it progression, you see some images. Some images flash in repeatedly and just disappears. These images are uh, it's so hard to explain what you actually see. Some of them are from that, what do you call this, government thing that happened. Just search for it. There's a government related images or image on it
Mm-hmm.
that shows child molesters,
Oh yeah,
popular child molesters.
I've seen based on the videos that I've seen of people playing this game. Sometimes there are random images that will appear on your screen. There's this couple, like an old guy and an old woman, because you don't know what the context is.
Yes.
You don't really know what they are unless you actually maybe do a quick print screen of your screen and search for the image online. But yeah, apparently those are like child molesters and stuff.
And also there are screams. There's the
Oh,
Tiananmen
yeah.
bombing song. It's a song about the Tiananmen Square or something.
Oh,
And the
okay.
Tiananmen Square is famous for the Tiananmen Square massacre.
Yeah,
It's a bombing in China.
I
So,
believe.
it's also got like the usual gore like this.
Oh
Let's see.
wow.
Yeah, it has gore also.
Headless people.
I think there are
man.
also some traces of. There's a house there. There are images of a certain guy in a house that has dead people inside. It says that it's the creator
Oh, yeah,
showing
I
the
know.
images of of the ladies he killed or something. It's so fucked up. It's some really fucked up shit inside a game said to be found in the deep web. Now there are a lot of retorts by a lot of known figures, again such as PewDiePie, that said that this is a hoax. This is a publicity stunt done by the creator of the game, or by Obscure Horror Games
Yeah.
itself. I still don't believe it. I still think that it's something you somehow found on the deep web, but they made a game out of it. I think all the images there, all the things there, is something that's been geniusly played around by some, random genius that stumbled upon things in the deep web that he shouldn't have
Have seen.
seen.
And
And it
somehow
plays it on
wanted
the
to
game.
share it
Yes, in a
through this
way.
game.
Yeah, in a way that's easy or easier to understand, but not that
Not
direct,
that blatant. Yeah.
blatant. Yeah. So made a game out of it.
And the atmosphere is really creepy because of the sound. The
So-
sound is the sounds in the game are really unsettling, especially the screams. I mean, you played a video of it earlier, and to be honest, it's disturbing to hear.
Yeah, it's just there's a female screaming. There's a crying child.
I mean, you can actually determine if a scream is, just acting out, but you know that this one is like in pain.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's like that 911 call.
Yeah.
You remember that 911 call? The old lady who got attacked.
She was just screaming. and
She was
screaming.
just screaming because and the lesson there is you have to ask for a caller's address first.
Mhm.
That's the first thing you ask so that you could
Not the
deploy.
name.
You could already send out
You could
people
send
there
people.
while you're talking to them. And
I think
that kind of scream
that was
is.
the one who changed the protocol of 911.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Every trainee,
Mhm.
according to the stories, every trainee is required to listen to the call, and the scream is very reminiscent of the ones in Sad Satan. The Sad Satan screams are even more painful
Yeah, I can hear the
because
girls
it's like torture.
It's like torture,
Yeah,
and it's just too much to hear, especially if you're one of those happy-go-lucky. Hey, I'm a normal guy.
yeah.
Then you suddenly come across this game.
Something you don't hear every day.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It will
Definitely,
destroy
no,
your
you
life.
you won't even hear it in a year.
You won't even hear it in the.
In the possible,
in the torture movies
yeah.
like Hostel. They don't scream like that. there.
They scream so exaggerated, but this has the touch of normalcy in it.
Yeah, it's like
It's so
yeah.
normal. It's a normal scream of terror. If you can grasp your head around that, or a normal scream of terror, you can know how terrifying what I've just said is. It's so normal that it's fucking terrifying.
Scary, yeah. It's like super relatable.
Yes, seriously. And these things are in the deep web. There's also the Silk Road, as Zar mentioned
Silk Road.
before the what do you call this? Before we started recording, the Silk Road is a black marketplace.
It's like an Amazon for illegal things.
Yeah, a lot of illegal things.
Illegal.
So there are drugs on it. There's guns,
Hitmen.
hitmen,
Hitmen.
Child
Oh god, yeah.
child slavery,
Yeah,
Market.
prostitution.
prostitution.
Yeah.
You don't want to be in there unless you're sick in the head. It's something, even as a research, you can please just search
Just
it on
skip
the
it, man.
normal
Just skip.
internet.
Since you mentioned Silk Road, you have to talk about the currency that they use.
Oh, yeah.
Just go.
Talk about it. The
No,
currency that they
you
use.
go talk about that.
Yeah. Apparently, you can't buy things there using normal money. You use this futuristic electronic money.
Is that
called-
Bitcoin?
Yeah.
Holy shit, man.
Bitcoin. To be honest, I'm not really familiar with how you actually acquire Bitcoin,
So
but all I
Bitcoin-
know is that it's electronic money.
Yeah.
So Bitcoin is something you can find in normal web. There's a Bitcoin miner. It's just electronic currency,
Yeah.
but you can mine it, and there are various. It even has stocks now. It has rising and falling denominations, or the value of Bitcoin. What's sad is they've used this in the Silk Road.
Yeah.
So, right now, I'm not a big fan of the Bitcoin anymore, because a lot of people use it to buy stuff in the deep web that aren't really legal and aren't really morally acceptable by my standards. These are things that seriously, guys, child slavery?
Oh yeah.
That's so fucked up.
Yeah, if you have a kid and you see this shit.
That's so fucked up.
That's what my impression was with Bitcoin, because I really didn't know anything about Bitcoin. But when I encountered those creepy pastas and stuff, I sort of looked into the deep web and shit. and found out about the currency that they use in Silk Road, which is Bitcoin. Now, of course, since I don't know anything about it, it sort of gained a notorious tone
Vibe,
for me.
yeah.
But you told me earlier that it's actually a legit, legit,
It's a
form of currency.
Form of currency.
But just because it gets used in the deep web, it sort of gained this notorious reputation.
That's one of the things that got fucked up by the deep web. Anything the deep web touches here in the light becomes
The light
dark.
world
Yeah.
becomes so fucked up.
And it's just sad that Bitcoin has it. It's a very progressive type of currency.
Because
doesn't-
it's unifying. Like
Yes.
it's
Every country
yeah.
Can use it.
can use the Bitcoin, and there's no varying levels of amounts or value per country. There's only one value for
Just
the
one
Bitcoin.
value for it.
It's so scary and amazing at the same time. And that is why they use it in the deep web, because there's only one value for Bitcoin. Also, another thing about the deep web, another lighthearted funny thing, if you consider dark humor funny, is that you can also find what do you call this? Some of the memes in 4chan there.
Oh.
The ones, the extreme memes with the how many pens you can put in your anus or your vagina.
Oh, okay. So these are where those
These are the
memes came
comedic.
from. Yeah.
These are the comedic parts. Now, they did originate from 4chan, I think, but I also saw them in the deep web once.
Oh.
So these are the lighthearted ones. These fucking
If
fucks.
you call that lighthearted.
Yeah, these fucking fucks.
Oh, there's this other thing that I encountered looking at deep web exploration videos on YouTube.
Research.
You know, there's this website where these moms would post pictures of their dead babies.
Ah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think I heard.
Remember that these babies just died, and they sort of found kinship with each other because
Oh, my
their
baby died
their
too.
child
And
just
then they're-
died, and they took a picture and they posted it there. It's not really an evil site. If you listen to what I'm saying, you might think it's twisted, but it's just people's it's just a bunch of sad people, sad women.
Commiserating.
Yeah, just looking for other people to share
Their stories
with. But yeah, it's sort
It's
of
a bit gruesome if you
yeah.
think about it.
This is the realm of insanity.
because you have you have people looking for people who share similar interests or feelings or hobbies, and some of those things might not be normal. You might not be normally socially acceptable.
You can't even say might. It's really not normal. Like posting pictures of your dead baby. Like seriously,
Well,
that's
the baby just died. In their defense,
that's the fucking thing. They just died.
yeah, and
Yeah. How to sacrilege? Fuck. How to blasphemy?
it's like a grieving process though for them.
Yeah.
From how they explained it, it's like a grieving. It's a way for them to grieve
grieve.
over their children. It's not like they keep the baby with them. It's just that they took one last picture and they posted it there.
But I bet there are.
But
people
there are
that-
fetishists
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah,
It's their fetish,
exactly.
definitely. It might have started out as something very twisted.
I mean,
you know,
it won't
like
end there. This is the deep web.
you don't know how you don't know what the origin is. It might have been started by this guy who just
Yeah.
likes to see pictures of dead babies.
Yeah, exactly. You don't know who made it. There's no about us.
Yeah,
I mean,
There's no creditation.
You
Yeah.
can make like a fake persona account there or something. Like I'm a mother too, but actually you're like a sick guy.
you're just a sick bastard who likes who gets
Wants-
off to looking
Looking
at dead babies.
Yeah, and that's not the first time that these kinds of things happen. There's also things in the deep web such as what do you call that?
What?
there's this.
Are we talking
weird
about child
snuff
porn
No,
again?
no, 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 no. There's this weird snuff video where you ask people to kill you.
Oh man, okay.
Yeah, that's so fucked up. That's so sick as fuck.
Is this related to Red Room?
Yeah, kind of like
Screaming?
Red Room Screaming, but
Yeah.
Red Room Screaming is still found in the.
The normal.
The
The
normal,
normal.
okay.
And you ask people to kill you. It's like, hi, we're in the vicinity of this place, blah blah blah. I'm ready to pay someone 100,000 to kill me in front of my camera as proof that I'm dead.
Oh man.
Things like that. Like
This is the first time for me to hear of this. This is a
It's a very
a weird fetish.
very weird fetish.
no,
This
there
is
are
a
a lot
weird
of
fetish.
people
But
who,
do these people actually go through with it? Like,
Yeah.
do they really have themselves killed?
Well, if people keep doing it, it probably does work.
What about
there are, what I hope doesn't do is this is something controlled by a syndicate.
oh yeah,
This is what's worse. If it's controlled by a syndicate and this is a money making
since somebody's profiting
profiting
from
out of the
this.
death of people who just wanted to die
Mm,
in the hands of another person to just, hey, at least I didn't kill
Die
myself,
alone.
or rather I didn't kill myself.
kill myself.
It's not a sin. Someone killed me. Just that thing, warped thing, and somebody's getting profit out of it. It's just too fucked up.
It's probably true because this is the deep web.
Yeah.
What about that forum or board where cannibals
Oh yeah, they
look for people who are willing to be eaten?
Yeah, and I saw one post there that I'm ready to sell my left arm to the highest bidder.
Oh man, okay.
I was like, what the fuck? The description, it's a perfectly healthy left arm. It's like
it's like you're selling a piece of meat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'm just looking for the word A grade and it's fucking US beef, but it's fucking her left arm.
Oh wow.
I don't think if she gets the kicks out of like seeing people eat her left arm and she gets turned on or whatever. There's people like that, and it's so fucked up. I don't.
That's not your thing.
Yeah, it's not my thing. I'm kinky in a lot of ways, but this fucking thing is
But
just not.
eating people is not.
Yeah, that's
and
not
watching
kinky.
people eat your
You-
body
yeah.
part. Yeah.
Do they cook? Do they cook the arm?
I don't care.
I don't want to.
I don't want to know.
Oh, I also encountered this one. There's this board where people talk about turning children into dolls. It's
Ugh.
like a dollification sort of board where they
This is it. We're going really deep
Yeah,
now.
This is really deep
they
now.
actually describe the process of how to
Wax a person.
amputate limbs, cut tendons, cut stuff that will allow these children to move, how to disable them for life so that they will remain alive, but they would look like dolls. It's like it's a sick and twisted fetish wherein these people would turn these child slaves
innocent children.
into
and by the way, with
dolls.
the recent technology of plastination,
Oh,
you could
man.
really preserve a body or a living thing and make it look like, oh, it's just a doll.
But
And
it's
then
actually
breathing.
alive.
That's sick.
I've
It's like
seen
movie type.
yeah.
Nightmare.
But it's dubious, to be honest. It's dubious. It's like a board where people just write things.
Basically, I'm a black kid now. I'm pale. I'm a normal brown guy. The fuck are we talking about? Why did we go here?
I think it's a dubious site. It's a fake site in the deep web where people just try to one up each other by writing gruesome things.
Mhm.
I'm not
Yeah,
sure how
there's also
true
that.
this is.
In the deep web, not everything in the deep you see in the deep web is true, but you can't also dismiss the fact.
Yeah, you can't rule it out.
You can't rule that. What makes it so terrifying is because these things can be as true as it gets.
Yeah.
And it can, but you'd probably have a big sigh of relief if it's false. But if
Yeah.
it's true,
There's a chance that these things are really happening.
yeah, and it's traumatizing for life.
Oh, what about that human experimentation website?
Fuck. That's I saw one thing there that they're really trying to reenact that fucking human centipede. God, that's so. They know, just know.
From what I've read, this website sort of describes the experiments, how they acquire bodies, how they dispose of bodies, what they do to them. Basically, these are homeless people being led into containers, being led into warehouses, being experimented upon.
Promise of food.
Promise of food, shelter.
Then, yeah, you can't see them ever.
Yeah. It's like people, dregs of society, people who won't be missed.
People who's not even registered as alive anymore.
Yes. So
They experiment on them and make them not alive anymore.
the disturbing thing about this site is that they refer to these people as just bodies.
Yeah, they don't even give them the benefit of a name,
Yes.
how old they are.
Subject A,
experiments.
subject B.
Yeah, it's so quote unquote scientific. It's
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
fucking weird.
It's when you read the stuff in there, it's very clinical. You know, like it's very clean, very formal, but it's just gruesome.
Yeah, like one of them tried to remember the famous when you put an ear on a rat, the ear will continue to grow.
Oh yeah, it's like
Yeah.
this. They augment the rat with the human ear and shit.
They tried to reverse that.
Oh man.
Yeah.
They put the rat on the ear.
No, they put
What?
animal parts on
human parts.
Oh man, this is Joseph Mengele
yeah,
shit,
this
man.
is weird shit. And one of them operated on the. They tried to make the nose of an elephant.
Oh man, this is like comedy right now.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's gruesome.
It's gruesome because the nose is so big. The elephant nose is so big.
Of
They
course.
had to take off the whole face.
Oh man, why would they do these things?
I don't know. For the sake of science.
But of course, again,
It's a
take
science.
everything with a grain of salt. Not everything can be true.
Again,
But of course, you can't dismiss.
we can't. That's what's annoying. I can't dismiss the fact that I've read something about like that as false, and I can't accept it either as truth because I still believe that humans have however evil they may be, they can't just do those.
But you know, there are counterparts in history. Again, Joseph Mengele. You know the experiments that he did. They were deep web stuff. The
Also,
stuff of deep web stories.
you know,
Elizabeth Bathory.
Yeah, that's poisoning and then letting them eat.
What about that Russian? This
The
one's
Russian
a
sleep experiment.
no. That's a creepy pasta.
No, I'm pretty sure I've seen this before on a 1990s website. This story, I just didn't continue to read
Oh
it.
man, so it's like the creepy pasta is based on something.
And I just didn't continue to read it because I was in 1995. I was 6 years old.
Oh yeah, of course.
And seeing something like just an image, a scary image, would like, okay, I will now play text. And seriously,
What about that Russian scientist? I can't remember his name, but he's the one who's trying to pioneer head transplants. But
They
I'm
were
talking about
the dog.
The dog
The dog.
experiments wherein they augmented the dogs with the dogs actually by the end of the experiment the dog had two heads.
one of them was human.
No.
No.
Two
Just
dogs.
dogs.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is not. This is a legit experiment. It's not human
Keeping class,
experimentation.
that's it,
But eventually, he's trying to prove that it can be done. So that if a person is born with a defective body, he
could
can be
actually
given a new lease in life by transplanting his head onto a healthy human body that is no longer needed by the owner. If the owner sort of suffers an accident or something.
Okay, so that's some RoboCop shit.
I discovered that by reading creepypasta, and then on a portion of it, there's the link of the video of the just like 1950s
Yeah.
illustration. Well, if you want to just watch it.
Yeah.
We'll just provide a link below.
Actually, you could not at this time transplant heads. Okay, just stop.
Yeah.
They
What?
tried it with a monkey. He lived, I guess, for a day. They transplanted a head.
Oh, but this is something that this other doctor is now pursuing.
Yeah,
Because
that's
there's this
happening
paraplegic who just wants to die, but the
Yeah.
doctor said, "Hey, I know you want to die, but what if I gave you a new body?" And the
Oh, so
paraplegic
they're
is
playing Jesus.
no, the paraplegic wants to die because his body's super useless.
Yeah.
And
now. He's on a wheelchair.
so basically, okay, I guess since I'm willing to die, why not use me for your experiment? Because
And I'm a
I want to
fan.
die anyway.
And I'm a fan of Ghost in the Shell, so maybe you could use my head.
But you know what I'm trying to get at here is there
People
are
sick.
things that in the real world like this. So how far fetched can the things in the deep web be? If there are things in real life that are just as twisted.
Yeah.
So what we're trying to get at here is you can't just rule out something just because it's just plain text or something you read on the internet. But take it with a grain of salt. Do not believe it completely.
Always
Do your research.
Give yourself the benefit of the doubt that what you're reading, what you're seeing, what you're hearing
Might not.
be true. But always have a side of you believing in the deep stuff, the dark stuff.
Yeah. Don't dismiss it completely because in the movies that's how people get killed.
Yeah.
Hey, that's not
the
true.
person who
And then they get
the first
stabbed in the back.
person who don't believe
Who dismisses the whole thing.
yeah,
gets killed first.
massively murdered. Yeah, his brain hung on somewhere.
Oh man.
Yeah, and suddenly the protagonist sees that friend, tries to save him, but no.
You get Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Well, John, anything you'd like to say to close this one out?
Yeah, go to torbase.org. No, don't go
Destroy
there.
your life.
No. But yeah, go to torbase.org if you're really curious. They have steps there.
Just remember.
Just remember, you didn't hear this from me. I didn't coax you into doing it again if you're just curious. And also, there are layers. I'm pretty positively sure that you won't be able to access it
From there.
that easily. Because you need some layers of VPN as well. So, yeah. Just go to search Tor, search Deep Web Tools on Google. And they're
ruin
happy
your
to
life.
yeah, they're happy to assist you in like committing social suicide or something. Yeah.
Just be safe. If you know, on a serious note, if you do decide to go there and see these things for yourself, please remember to be safe, be cautious. Always remember
Wear a
that.
condom.
Always remember that you're visiting uncharted lands.
Yeah. You're visiting something that
You're going to Mordor, basically.
and also remember always as we close this episode I think one quote really can describe this
Yeah, sums it up.
Yep. If you like looking into the abyss, if you look at it far too long, remember the abyss looks back.
Ah.
Bye guys.
Bye-bye.